As we prepare for a strong start to 2021, there's no more important economic buyer for us to understand and for us to be indispensable to than the modern CMO. To understand the modern CMO's mindset, we've invited Michelle Bottomley to bring her 30+ years of modern marketing experience to today's conversation.
As Elena indicated, I've been a career marketer for the last 30 years. I came up through analytics with an understanding of how businesses make money through the acquisition, expansion, and retention of customer relationships. I believe that if more suppliers and partners understand how modern CMOs are connecting the dots between the experience, the data, technology, and insights, they'll be able to think their businesses forward in terms of their offerings and their support teams so that they can become that indispensable partner for the modern CMO on their growth journey.
What we'll cover today are 3 key areas. What is modern marketing and what isn't it? How the CMO thinks about and invests in modern marketing. And then thirdly, how can you become that leading partner of choice to the CMO and the brand marketer company to help them identify and nurture high-value customers, hence becoming that indispensable partner. We coined the term always-on growth engine to reflect the personalized connected experiences being engineered by today's modern marketers. As you can see at the top layer of our graphic, the intent behind personalization is to move as many of the right buyers from awareness to purchase and loyalty. And this is increasingly being powered by an integrated system of data, insights, strategy, planning, channel execution, and performance analytics. Orchestrating these connected experiences is part of the work of the modern marketing teams today.
And I'm going to give you a line of sight into how we view the world and how other modern CMOs, such as myself, take a look at marketing and the role of marketing in helping companies grow during very challenging times. Modern marketing has been on an evolution, and we're going to start with some basics around the definition, because marketing, like strategy, is one of those words that means different things to different people. I really like the AMA's definition of marketing, which you see at the top of the screen here, because it says it's about exchanging offerings that have value for customers and other stakeholders, clients, partners, and society at large. Where modern, which is a term, modern marketing, that goes back to the turn of the century, is about that next phase of marketing that is in everyone's eyesight. So you can see from this timeline here that marketing's gone on since the Industrial Revolution. As digital started taking off in the late 90s, the marketing concept of putting the customer at the center, understanding customer needs, and building products, solutions, and experiences to meet the needs of those customers driving most of the category profits was really in vogue. That said, now we still are, many of us, putting the customer at the center, or that high value customer at the center. But the job of marketing is not only to understand and help the organization understand that HVC's needs, that high value customers' needs, but also to think about how the brand can be a force for good in meeting the customer's needs and supporting the customer in the communities in which they live. We view modern marketing as a continuum. Some people might say marketing has become so fragmented with digital and data, branding, technology. Yes, there's an art and science continuum. Our job as modern marketers is to groom our teams to be able to understand this full continuum and to work with partners that can help us along this continuum, get smarter, and be able to deliver on the full range of tools that the modern marketer has at their disposal. We need more marketers that are able to work across this continuum. They may not have every skill set, but when we build collaborative go-to-market teams, we need to have representatives from these different disciplines that know how to work together to pull the levers of customer growth. I myself have led teams on the agency side as well as the client side that had silos across each of these channels, making it super challenging to create a 360-degree set of communications and messages for the targeted consumers or businesses. There is also emerging a modern growth engineer. They understand that the business is a portfolio of customer relationships that has a current and a future economic value. And the job of the go-to-market team is to unlock that value over time. Not just marketing, not just the brand team, but everyone working collaboratively to understand that portfolio, what's coming in, what's expanding, contracting, and what's leaving the portfolio and for whom. Because what I found over my 30 years is the brand or the business with the highest number of high value customers wins. And that's what this growth engineer is trying to have happen. They want to understand the high value customers in their portfolio and out in nature, and how to tell purpose-led stories to them, inspire products that meet their needs better than the competition, and deliver that always on growth engine that Elaine talked about. So let's open up the mindset of this modern growth engineer. It's a system, as you can imagine, that is an ongoing approach to managing growth. What I'm going to point out is at the center of this system are channels. This modern growth engineer is stepping back and looking at basically the customer journey. What this growth engineer is tracking is human beings, people, moving from awareness over to advocacy and referral, not just the channel effectiveness. I love this way of doing marketing for a couple of reasons. One, it's very quantifiable. Two, you get to see a little bit of cause and effect. You're using insights and analytics to make decisions. But the most important benefit, I think, of this systematic approach is it empowers people that are spending money on behalf of the client to take a look at cause and effect and to make evidence-based decisions about what's working and what's not, and to collaborate with other people in that pursuit. Of course, not every organization is at the same place on their modern growth maturity curve. I always want to understand, whenever I come into an organization, well, where are they and where do they aspire to be? And so I've put this maturity curve together, and it combines a couple of different aspects. It combines the brand aspect with the targeted aspect. So that whole continuum I showed you before, the art and science, because of course, this is not about just CRM and data-driven targeted marketing. This is every bit as much about brand building, emotionally engaging storytelling, appropriate products, solutions, and form factors, as it is about reaching the right audience. But not every company wants to be on the upper right-hand side. Elaine called this the always-on growth engine. But many companies do, many successful companies are. They've taken segment-specific marketing or segment P&Ls, and they've been able to map their solutions to those segments and to deliver personalization to those segments because they so understand those segment needs that they're able to personalize every touch point to deliver on those needs and to get an unfair advantage from having more of those HVCs than their competition. So it's great to see that there are exemplars out there, but every company doesn't need to get to the upper right-hand side. The important part is that they can see cause and effect between deploying initiatives informed by insights and analytics, and then seeing the growth in not only customer value, but enterprise value. So I know a lot of companies are pretty eager to get up this curve to build relationships with HVCs. And if you're on that journey with them, then you're doing something even more important than helping CMOs and their teams be successful, and that is to future-proof these companies and ensure their success over the next couple of years. So I promised at the beginning to share with you my modern marketing playbook and the way I've thought about the art and science of growing businesses. At the center of this is really customer growth, because when the right customers are acquired, expanded, and retained, it grows the business. And when marketing is seen to be helping the business grow, capabilities that can leverage data, digital technology, and brand building content are essential to power that growth. So rising above marketing ROI or RAMI and getting into demonstrating with a CFO the impact on the business from a customer standpoint and how those customers are buying one or more products and retaining that relationship over time is essential to get right. And as I mentioned to you before, it's an art and a science. The art of purpose-led branding, understanding the purpose of the business, why it exists, why the founders created it, and striking an emotional connection with those HVCs so that the brand is the go-to brand and delivers experiences that simplify and improve the lives of the customers that it seeks to serve, those high-value customers. And I'm going to keep saying high-value customers because I find that many marketing teams market on the average to the average customer, instead of finding those bright spots, those profit pools, where those HVCs are driving the majority of the value as an inspiration, not just for communications, but for product development and experiences. So that's the art side. The science side is data-driven targeted marketing. Guys, we've been doing this since the 60s when database marketing took off in the not-for-profit area, but it's become so much more sophisticated now with AI and machine learning, certainly for e-commerce companies. But I have found that many teams have lost the fundamentals of customer portfolio management and realizing that data, digital, and technology is there to help companies get that revenue pump going between acquiring, expanding, and retaining more of these HVCs, and tuning the touch points to the HVC's needs, finding them where they are in nature off of the brand, and then building relationships with them before, during, and after their purchase. What gets modern CMOs out of bed in the morning and their teams out of bed in the morning? It's intelligent growth. It's imagining a world and working to create a world where your business has found a way to gain a high share of high value customers. You actually know what they look like in your portfolio and out in nature. Your average revenue per client is up, as is the average number of solutions per client. Your team is enthusiastic about pulling growth levers because they can see the impact, not just on their channel, but on the business, because they're impacting the customer portfolio. The entire organization is excited. They're working together. Silos have broken down. They're out to understand and grow high value customers as an agile go-to-market team. Regardless of which homeroom they might sit in, they want to be part of that team that's powering growth. These former silos are one group, and they're trying to work out, sometimes with duct tape, over time with upgraded processes and technology to power more of that growth in a scalable way. The metrics are more client metrics. They're known, they're rewarded, and they're known throughout the organization. They're not just held at the top. Everyone has a sense of those metrics, and not everyone, but those certainly on the front line, and how their initiatives are contributing to those metrics. In fact, the metrics are so simple and clear that they're able to sit at the board level and possibly even be part of the S within ESG, defining a healthy customer portfolio as an important part of the value that company is creating for that important stakeholder. And people's careers are growing, and they're fueled by new skills that they've learned and their ability to deliver business impact. In fact, your team is indispensable to the modern CMO, and the modern CMO's team is indispensable to the business.
Michelle, oh my God, how wonderfully granular your lessons in becoming indispensable to the modern CMO have been today. So I have a couple of key takeaways that I'd like to share with the audience. So number one, we've never seen a more disruptive time, which presents certain challenges as well as opportunities to remove what's not clearly creating value and focus on those actions that do create brand and customer value. Second was modern CMOs and their teams are out to create the always-on growth engine powered by data, digital, technology, and brand building content. Third, becoming indispensable is about helping that modern CMO and his or her team understand that high value customer and their needs, tailoring the offerings and experiences in a highly relevant way. Four, success is all about customer growth. Can't say that enough. And that is what drives enterprise value. And then fifth, indispensable partners understand the modern CMO mindset, vision, and have put themselves in the process as an ally and an enabler of their success. They are truly partners.